Hello and welcome to Live from the Filmstrip. I am your host, Christopher A. Padilla. Wow, sorry folks. I'm starting this a little bit later than I had planned. For some reason it wasn't showing the audio on my software, so had to fix that. Uh, well, on today's review, we're going to be reviewing Coherence, which is a science fiction thriller that I stumbled on Shudder, going in with no sort of expectation as to what this film is about. I didn't see a trailer, you know. So it was a really fresh experience. And I must say, what a fucking flick. That was, oh, it's amazing. Uh we talk about that, and the rant for today is a really fresh one, and it's probably going to be short. It involves, you know, people not minding their business. And there was this one particular situation that I will talk about. But as you can hear in the background, there are trains, so I might as well get this show started with a bit of positive energy. How are you guys? Are you guys okay? You guys doing good? Let me tell you something. I just got done staying up for 24 hours straight. Um, why did I do this, you may ask? Well, I wanted to just try it to see what happens. And it was pretty interesting. I went down the rabbit hole on Netflix, saw a bunch of shit, saw a bunch of shit I can't even recall. Uh, but I wanted to do that for Mink, uh, which is a new Netflix film that just got released today. I saw it today. It'll be on a review on the fifth episode. Um, oh, sorry, I'm drinking a beer. Uh, I'm drinking a beer trying to relax. But yeah, I saw that flick. Uh, but yeah, 24 hours is not good. You know, I thought I would enjoy it, but I didn't really enjoy it as much as I had hoped I would. It's a lot of fucking up with the sleep schedule, and I find that I'm like more anxious when I haven't slept for that long. I get real antsy, real depressed. But yeah, I don't know. It's just weird. Like even now, I'm pretty buzzed. You know what? I would actually say I'm drunk. This is the first drunk podcast. Oh, now I know what to name the first act of this three act show is drunk. The drunk cast. So yeah, man, I have a bit of writer's block. That's why I'm drinking. Uh, I usually get writer's block when I've painted as much of a picture in my mind of what the beginning of the story looks like and the ending. It's when I get to the middle that's where the writer's block sort of digs in, you know. And I'm talking about Leave the Knife and Take the Cannoli, the script that was spawned on this podcast. Yeah, I'm writing it. It's a crime slasher film. It's a mafia slasher film. Scorsese meets Halloween type of thing. And it's a lot difficult than I had let on. Uh, because the killer has to be more, I guess, agile. Because it's taking place in a realistic world. It's not like this, you know, it's not like I can stick something. It's not like I can stick a rod in this killer and then fucking a lightning bolt hits him and he resurrects. No, these rules are of the real world, so they have to be done within the limitations of this real world. But yeah, I find that okay, the mob story's working. I can see it in my head. I can see the way it's shot. I can see who's playing who. It's a nice crime story. It's a nice crime story, but it's also I just don't know when to introduce a slasher element because I don't want it to come out of nowhere as if it wasn't building towards that. I want it to have sort of a presence in the beginning, very quick, just a quick introduction, and then the rest. The film is like a crime film, your run of the mill Scorsese picture, and then the slasher element comes into play, and that's when people know, oh shit, this is also a slasher flick, and that's exciting to me. That's exciting to write, because I came up with the ending first, and then I came up with the beginning. Now I just need to find the right point to weave these two stories in a believable way. And oh man, it's really difficult, you know? Like I would like to talk to someone about this script, but it's too weird. It's a weird concept and the people that I'm friends with aren't really that keen on the weird. They'd probably be drawn towards like the crime element before the slasher. So I don't want to go up to them with this idea, but it's a good idea. It's a good concept. I would like to see it made, if not by me, somebody else. I would like a little bit of credit though if you do make this. But I want to make this because I think that if done right, it can be a very like art film horror type thing. It could be like an A24 flick. But it's tough. It's really really tough. Uh, oh man. Uh, Selena. What? That's what I wanted to talk about. The Selena series is up on Netflix right now, and I'm for one shocked by this. I'm really shocked. So I saw the trailer a couple of days ago, and um, I gotta say that the trailer was a bit off. If Now by off I mean like it's so weird looking at that show, having grown up with the film. Excuse me, sorry, burp. Uh, because you grow up in San Antonio, boy. You've seen Selena. All right, you know who Selena is. You had that movie either on VHS and later on DVD. Anywhere, any way you split this, if you're a '90s kid, you've seen Selena. Okay. Now I know that film like the back of my hand, pretty much. But here is the issue of looking at the series versus the film. Now, now I didn't notice this at the time, right? I didn't notice this type of uh, the way studios would put a cast together. So I'm watching the Selena film, and I'm noticing a few things. Okay, one of the things I'm noticing is Selena's dad is with a beautiful, hot woman. Now, don't get me wrong, Hispanic men sometimes they look good enough to get women out of their league because they are who they are and the way they. So I can understand meeting at a young age and stuff. Them coming together, but like I looked at Selena's sister, and it's like they made her like this. It's crazy because I'm pretty sure they. I don't know her sister. I haven't seen pictures. Maybe her sister is chubby, but they made this chick like who was really chubby, Selena's sister, and I can only put together the reason they did that was to make her like Jennifer Lopez look that much hotter. You know what I'm saying? To me, that's what I see. Uh, but in this one, the sister's chubby, but you know it's manageable. But here's the thing. Here's the thing that I noticed that I couldn't unsee once I saw it, and that is that is in the trailer. She's having a conversation with her sister who's on the drums. And like I think she's talking about leaving or not wanting to do the drums and shit. And Selena goes up to her and is just like, "Hey, listen, would the Beatles be the Beatles without Ringo Starr?" Now, I'm a huge like the Beatles are my favorite band of all time. Like they're perfect to me. Okay? But I'm just going to say this. Ringo is like the most replaceable person of that band. You know? Like it's you can't replace you can't take George out of the equation because of his contributions solo as well as with uh the Beatles. He got on a few songs, but Ringo is like his contribute is an octopus's garden. Like, come on, guy. Like, why would you? If I was a sister, I'd almost be kind of insulted. I'd be like, what? Uh, Ringo Starr. You couldn't drop Neil Peart. Oh my God, is that his name? I don't know. I think it's Neil Peart. Yeah, Neil Peart. You couldn't drop Neil Peart. Fucking Rush. You couldn't do that shit. But Ringo Starr. I mean, dude, it's Paul and Lennon. It's McCartney and Lennon. It's like that's the name. It's not McCartney, Ringo, Lennon. It's even George too. But like that was just weird. That was a weird thing to say. Like I said, I would be insulted. I'd be like, wait, hold on. I'm the most replaceable Beatle. That doesn't make me feel better, sis. That really doesn't. But we'll see. I'm gonna give it a chance because I'm not only a Texan, I'm a San Antonio. I'm a San Antonioan. I don't know. I'm from San Antonio, so she's pretty big here. I'm definitely gonna start watching the series after the show is done recording. But let me just get back to film stuff. Let's talk about that. Uh, Shutter is continuing to surprise me with the level of quality content that they have. Okay? Like Shutter, when you look at it from an outsider's perspective, it's weird that it doesn't strike you right away that this streaming service would be something that is on the same level as a Netflix or a Hulu. It doesn't have that sort of grab, right? But once you get it and you see what they have to offer, it's literally, how do I put this? It's literally like you having a personally curated streaming service, right? A personally curated streaming service that is handpicking these horror properties and thriller properties, right? And literally you could grab every title and throw a dart and see something that you normally wouldn't see, but you're going to give it a chance, and you give it that chance and it blows your fucking mind. That's how Lutz was, that film that I talked about in episode 3. It just, it hits you, and you can't really describe that feeling of finding this new film that looks, whatever, that has a certain look or approach to dialogue or an approach to story. It's just, it it's so refreshing, because you can go on Netflix, you can go on Amazon Prime and look at their original content and see, like, just run of the mill stuff or shit that isn't really that good, but it's still on there. It's a roulette on what's good and what's bad. Now, that's more on Netflix side than Prime, because Netflix, you have so much original content. When you see Netflix, you see it, and it's daunting. So it really is just a shot in the dark approach to streaming with Netflix, where they throw money at a whole bunch of different things that will get those particular audiences, and that's all. Because you click it, and it may not be something you're into, but it's like, no, it's not something I'm into at all. It wasn't, you know. Netflix can take more chances, whereas Shudder, I'm sure, is smaller and has to really pick and choose what they get, what they can find, like, valuable for their site. And that, oh my god. Hold on. This fucking car. God damn it. This is what I have to deal with, folks. This is why I'm pissed off all the time. This is why there's rants at the end of the show of me going completely fucking mental on, what is it? The fucking guy. Oh, man. Oh, I can't wait to get into that. I really, really can't wait to get into that fucking rant. But to continue the love for Shudder, it is such a great streaming service. It really is. And once the pandemic clears, once everything is better, I would want to get back into filming and film a web series, or a short film, or a film, and submit it to Shudder in some way, shape, or form, because there has never been a service that I've seen that I've had so much luck in when I click on a random title and watch it than Shudder. Because of that, it's insane. It's really insane. And again, like, I'm going to continue to support this independent streaming service because it's so rich in content that I'm going to click things that I've never seen and probably never heard of, that you may not have seen or might not have heard of, but you might have. Who knows? It's a random assortment of horror shit, and I can't wait to just dive right into it. It's really an impressive selection of just horror content that, oh man, it just delivers on every level. So, because of that, I'm going to get into our little review of Coherence. Now, Coherence was a film that wasn't on my radar. Like it's directed by James Ward Byrkit, Byrkit, and he is you know he's a writer and director. Uh, he did the concept art for Pirates of the Caribbean, and uh he co-wrote Rango, the animated Nickelodeon film. So this was his film that he decided to make, and it was made for $50,000. Now, he filmed this without a crew, without a script, used improv actors, and filmed it. I'm trying to see how long did it take? It was a short amount of time. It was like maybe 5-day week, like weekends, I think. Yeah, over the course of 5 nights at his house. So he used improv actors, people who didn't, and they barely had a script, rough outlines. Emily Baldoni, Baldoni, played M. Maury Sterling, Maury. Nicholas Brendan, Lawrence Scafaria, Hugo Armstrong, Elizabeth Grayson, Alex Mangonian, and Lauren Mayer, and Aquil Zoll, Aqueelazol, but and Kelly Donovan. Uh yeah, so this film, put simply, there's a meteor passing. A group of friends are getting together for this watch of the meteor falling, and it's filmed very it's filmed like Rachel getting married, which if you heard our last episode, you know that I do not in any way like how Rachel getting married was filmed. So you would think that I wasn't going to like this film, but I did. It literally felt like some guy was holding a camera and was filmed like a fly on the wall type of thing. And it's a group of like friends getting together to watch this comet, and while they're there, they you talk about, one of them talks about like how when a comet passes, strange things tend to happen, like a woman who claimed to have killed her husband, called the cops and said she killed her husband, but her husband was alive in the living room, but she swears that she killed. I was, you were getting these backstories that strange things happen when comets pass. And holy shit. The direction this film takes is nothing short of phenomenal. And the way it's filmed, again, adds to the story. Now, there are these times when it films for a little bit, cuts to black, then it continues in another scene. It does that randomly, and apparently those cuts mean something. The director hasn't said what they meant, and this was made, I think, in 2016. Nobody knows, what any of that means, but it is such a crazy concept, crazy film. You may believe it, you may not believe it, who knows? It's just something that you think you know where it's going, but then it just takes a complete 180, and you're just like, oh shit, this is how it's gonna happen? Now, again, I will say the lack of budget, you can tell when they're doing exterior shots, the camera isn't really as good as to film in those kind of conditions with like no crew. Everything looks kind of grainy, and that's fine. You get used to it, but it was something that I noticed. Um, like I said, overall, the whole concept is fascinating, and the direction it goes is just as fascinating. Hold on one second. I just noticed the fan is spinning, so I'm gonna go turn it off real quick. Hold on one second. Hey guys, sorry, just got back. But Coherence is the type of film that makes me, as someone who's a screenwriter and filmmaker, just re-examine how I approach a film or a video project. This guy did this at his house over the course of 5 nights. He used improv actors. It's so genuine the way they're acting. They act like they've known each other for years, and their acting continues to build throughout the film, and you see just how crazy this situation is. And as soon as certain things are revealed, you feel that sort of pressure of the situation that they're in. And the rest of the film proceeds in the way that, this kind of story would go. And then it just sticks the fucking landing. It sticks the landing in a very unique way that is so satisfying that it's hard to really explain it without ruining it to you, or ruining it for you rather. So I have to be vague, and I know I'm vague on a lot of these reviews. I know I am, because I just want people to have a pleasant experience when they go and they decide to watch this film for themselves, because part of the big, like, spectacle of this film is the simplicity, is how I can look at this film as a filmmaker and be like, okay, this guy did that idea. Let me see if I can do this with this idea. See if I can apply that same sort of logic of just making a film around your house. He said he wanted to make the living room appear to be a lot bigger than it actually was. That was his quote. And I totally agree with that quote and how he's saying it and what he's saying and everything he's trying to get across within his film. It's so brilliant. And I know, like, you may think I'm, like, biased, or I just give out these great reviews on the whim because I've had nothing but praise on the last few films that I've talked about, but I'm truly impressed that Shudder can deliver these type of films and give us the opportunity to see something that's completely different, something that is, something that someone made over 5 nights. That's crazy that somebody over there saw this film and decided to put it on their streaming service because they thought it was that awesome. And I agree with them. This film is awesome. Now, I'm gonna say this. It's gonna be crazy, but I think I'm gonna give this 4 film strips out of 5. Okay, that is because there are some issues that I have. Like I said, with the exterior shots, it's not perfect. But again, it's like once you know the history behind everything, you just fall in love with it even more. And like maybe it's a 4 now, but if I watch it again, it might be a 5 because I might pick up on things that I didn't see the first time around. But like I said, Shutter is the next best streaming service that is just going to blow up with crazy original content. And like I said, I'm going to be watching it immediately once I'm done with this show. I am going directly to that streaming service and just checking it out. It's a phenomenal site, and I'm glad to be a part of it, you know? It's Oh, be a part of it. Oh my God, what did I say? To be a part of it? No, I don't mean to be a part of it. I see. I lost my train of thought. I'm a little drunk and I'm just rambling on a mic. No, I'm not a part of it. They're not paying for this fucking program. That would be nice. That'd be cool. Shutter, I love your product and would be happy to endorse it on my show, which I am doing now because of how much I love it. Please go to Shutter and create an account and do your trial. See what I'm talking about. See how awesome these products or these films are, because they truly are. And you have a lot to choose from. You have a wide selection of not only movies but shows, and that in and of itself is worth it. Okay, so this may be a shorter show. I'm 30 minutes in and I'm already getting to the rant, the third act. It's gonna be short, folks, because nothing really happened this week that was anything to talk about. As far as like writing goes, like I said in the beginning of the show, I don't think that. Uh, Actually, what did I say in the beginning of the show? I have to look back, guys. I'm just trying to continue to try to stick to the schedule. I kind of hoped that I would record more during the week, but it was hard, because it's just like I'm trying to figure out what is going to be good content, what is not. I want to avoid talking politics. I also just want to avoid having not to deal with people's like reactions to shit like that. Like I haven't talked to some people because they thought I was talking about them on a show, and I'm sorry. It's just like I'm not gonna apologize for anything I say on this show, because I feel like this is meant as an entertainment, as a satire, which is why the next thing that I'm going to talk about is utterly ridiculous, but it pissed me the fuck off. So I was at a gas station the other night, right? I was getting some beer, and I was behind this fucking guy. Okay, let me paint you. He had work boots on. It looked like concrete, or they were all white from his like mid shin to his boots. They were chalk white because of cement and shit, right? He's wearing the tightest fucking black t-shirt, right? He has, he's kind of built a little bit, not too impressive, just a little muscle. And his hair his hairstyle rather is that of, like, I would assume is the scalp's like salute before it fucking gets shaved off, because it was a spiky hair, but it was like it almost looked like each individual like spike was like a hair. So it looked wet, and it was spiked up, and it was really short, and it had a widow's peak and shit, right? So he is talking to the cashier, and he's mentioning like, "Oh, there's a guy. You're one of your workers. He's outside, Yeah, he's outside, smoking something, I don't know. And then the guy's just like, yeah, we run a double shift, so he's taking a break. And then the guy's just like, yeah, well, it sounds like he's had a couple too. And I'm sitting there looking at this guy, just rage, rage, folks, was boiling inside my fucking stomach. Who the fuck are you, man? Why the fuck are you snitching on someone? Do you not realize that we're in a fucking pandemic? Do you understand that people have fucking died? People are struggling, man. And you're gonna fucking go up to a person's boss, essentially, and tell them that the guy's having a few? And you could potentially ruin that man's financial stream, like his job. You're gonna take that away from him? Potentially? God, go fuck yourself. Mind your own fucking business. I don't understand why nobody just minds their fucking business. It's so easy. It's so easy to not give a fuck about anything or anybody and just get on with your fucking life. Oh, sorry guys, my nose is stuffed up. That's why I sound a little nasally. Uh I tried blowing it, but it doesn't seem to be working, so bear with the nasal voice. Oh, but man, it's so fucked up because he has this demeanor about him, and you guys know the demeanor. It's like this guy that has this presence of people like going up and talking, starting a conversation. Like he looks like the kind of guy that says good morning every fucking day when he sees you. That fucking asshole. The guy you want to fucking throw out of your goddamn window or just fucking run over with your car. That fucking guy. He has that attitude with people. Because immediately after I bought the beers, he's having the conversation with the drunk employee, and he's smiling and nodding his head, giving him the time of the day. He's not walking to his car ignoring him. No, he stays and has a conversation. He's such a piece of shit. Fuck this dude, man. Fuck him. I fucking don't like people who tattletale on other people, especially after the shit that we're going through. It's like none of your fucking business, man. Mind your own fucking business and leave this guy alone. But no. He has to be a good Samaritan. He has to fucking tell his boss. Yeah. He's the same. I bet you was a fucking kid that once, school was about to let out, he's just like, oh, when did we turn in our homework from last night? And everybody's just like, fuck. This fucking asshole, this piece of shit had to say something right when we were getting out. It's so, you know what? Like, I'm sick and tired of people telling on other people, adults telling on other people. It's like, it's not your fucking concern. Don't concern yourself with other people's shit. Like, it's that simple. It's that fucking simple. But nobody sees it like that. Everybody wants to be heard. Everybody has a voice. Everybody wants someone else to get in trouble because they'll make them feel good because they're doing the right thing 24/7, 365. They've never made a mistake. And then they see this opportunity to really put someone in their place and potentially ruin their lives, and they take it. They're just like, oh, hey, the guy that you employ, he may have a few. Just wanted to let you know. Fuck you, dude. Fuck you. If you tell... Fuck you with your high and mighty attitude and your fucking shitty haircut, dude. Just fucking cut it off. Cut off your hair. Cut off your fucking hair because there's nothing there. There is nothing. I can see your scalp through the spikes. It makes it so much worse. Just cut your fucking hair. Fuck, man. Jesus. Oh. It's so fucked up. I know, and see, this is what I'm talking about, people. This is the kind of shit that bothers me. This is the kind of things that I'm going to be talking about on the show. I shouldn't be this mad at this guy. I don't know this guy. Okay? I don't even know the guy who he's ratting on. But I just hate when people need to get in other people's business in order to fucking make themselves feel better about themselves. You know, I hate that. It drives me crazy. But hey, you know what? I know that somewhere down the line this guy's gonna fuck up in some way, shape, or form. He's gonna walk in, and his wife's gonna be cheating on him. It's gonna be a really grimy road for him, and he's gonna be showing up to work, with a bottle in his hand, smelling of alcohol, and then he's gonna get fired, and then he's gonna fucking know what it feels like to fucking get, you know. It's that's what I hope, at least. You know, it's probably not gonna happen. He's gonna walk away from this unscathed, and there's really nothing I can do or say that will make it happen. But like, I'm so done dealing with other people getting involved with shit, with everything, with barbecues, lemonade stands, all this crazy fucking shit. It's annoying. It's really fucking annoying. But fuck, man. Fuck, and I shouldn't be pissed. I shouldn't be pissed. This is nothing to do with me. This is something that just popped in my head that I've been mulling over. This shit happened to me yesterday, and I'm still pissed off about it. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that insane that someone can devote this much time to some random circumstances, like some random event in my life that really had no effect on me personally? I'm deciding to make myself angry about it and go into this fucking rant. It's sick. It's fucking sick, but it's very therapeutic. I have to tell you. Ranting about these fucking morons has been so relieving. It just adds another level of just happiness to me. Like these dumb fucks who walk out of houses without a shirt on, and they're fat as fuck. The fucking guy who's snitching on somebody else, with his balding head. All these people have affected my life, and they don't even know. They'll never hear this. They'll never know that they left this little bit of mark on my life. And it's going to be a permanent mark because I'm talking about it on a podcast. Oh, folks. I don't know. I definitely need therapy, though. I'm going to be honest with you. I definitely need some therapy to deal with all this shit. But hey, maybe I'm not so crazy. Maybe everybody else around me is crazy, and I'm the only sane one, right? That's a thing. That has to be a thing. I can't just be happy with with the way things are. I have to always just I have to just find something wrong in certain situations. I could have just looked the other way, but I had to eavesdrop. I had to get in that conversation. I had to hear this guy and his shitty fucking voice, and like good Boy Scout. Hey, you know that your guy out there is drinking a couple of beers? Like, I wanted to fucking fight this dude. And I shouldn't have to feel that way over a random encounter, but I do. I do, guys. I do. So a part of me wishes that he's just a real piece of shit at home, and then he's gonna get his comeuppance later on. But it never really works out like that. Yeah, this is gonna be a short episode, guys. I'm recording this on Sunday, and I would like to go an hour, but I still have to edit this, and I have to get it ready to be uploaded on Monday. So yeah, this was a quick show. The rants will continue. I'm gonna start getting into a regular schedule about recording these every night, since there's a cold front coming. So that'll be interesting to do. Anyway, guys, we're all in this together. We need to preserve the right to say whatever we want on a public forum like this and swear and just rant about whatever we want, you know? Like, I may offend some people, I may not. This is a satirical entertainment. That's all I'm doing. This is all I'm trying to do. And if it's an attempt that fails, just understand that it was an attempt at comedy, okay? It wasn't an attempt to offend, it was an attempt at comedy, and that's what this is. I just wanted to make that clear before I sign off. I am your host, Christopher A. Padilla, live from the Filmstrip. Goodbye. Good night, everyone.